Gotta get boom, boom, boom. Gotta get that 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 boom, boom, boom.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, my name's Rhonda, better known as Hot Mess Momma MD. Thanks for joining, and before you leave, make sure you do me a little something and hit that like button as well as that subscribe button down below. Today I'm going to be comparing, and is it a dupe? Is it not a dupe? The Aphrodite Bad Habits palette to the Huda Rose Gold palette. As we know, this bad boy right here is going to be discontinued, but before it is, let's check out the Aphrodite palette with it. Is it a good dupe for it? If you want to find out, you want to see how I got this look on the eyes right here, then stay tuned because that's what this video is all about. So again, before we get started, make sure to hit those like buttons as well as the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so here are the palettes that we will be comparing again today. The Aphrodite and of course the Huda Rose Gold palette that you better hurry up and get your hands on if you all are wanting this because she is discontinuing it. So on this side, I am going to do all Aphrodite by Bad Habits, and on this side will be all of the Huda Rose Gold textured palette. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the application process. I'll zoom you all in so you all can see how these work or don't work. I don't know. We'll find out. So I'm going to start off with the Aphrodite palette, of course, working with this side. One thing you will notice about this palette is it does have a nice, beautiful mirror, which comes in very, very handy if you are traveling. That's one thing that you will notice that the Rose Gold palette does not have. So anyways, starting off, we are going to go in with the color Koi. I am going to be using the same brushes, however, in between, I'm obviously going to clean them off so they don't transfer. I did prime my eyes using Tarte Tape Shape, by the way. So I'm just going to apply that all over, giving a nice base for my lid. Next, I'm going to probably work with a couple shades at a time. So next I'm going to go in with the shade Admire. Again, this is the Aphrodite palette, using the same brush, which is a Morphe E27 brush. We're just going to put that on as our transition shade in the crease and a little above the crease. I would call this like a nice, pretty caramel color. I'm not going to go like crazy with my shades today, guys. I'll just add just a smidge more. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Huda Rose Gold palette. And again, I'm going to use similar colors, so I'm going to do my entire lid here with the shade Bay. Then move over to the color Sandalwood for my transition and crease. Again, cleaning off my Morphe brush and using the E27. Honestly, I would say it's about the same kickback wise on both palettes, so they're very similar as far as the kickback goes. And honestly, kickback to me is not horrible. I mean, it's not, you know, a deal breaker for me. Now going in with Sandalwood, same brush, using that as the transition shade. Okay, seriously, the colors are like pretty much spot on. You cannot tell a difference between those two. And if you can, it sure as heck is not by much. Wow. So just a quick recap. This side is the Huda Rose Gold palette. This side is the Aphrodite palette. Again, this is by Bad Habit. You can get it off of shophush.com and it's only $10. This one retails for $65. Again, it is about to be discontinued. Once they sell out, they will not be restocking. But again, this is $65 versus this one, which is $10. However, I will tell you all, it is sold out, but they will be restocking. Okay, so next I'm going to go back over to the Aphrodite palette, and I'm going to be using this shade right here called Seduction. I'll be using my Morphe M411 brush and just taking that right into the crease and building that up. I feel like these colors here are very easy to work with, very buildable and blendable as well. That's really pretty. Just to make it less harsh, I'm going in with my Morphe R40 brush, blending it out. Okay, hopping back over with the Huda palette on the other side. The similar color here is called, it's called Cocoa. So I'll be going in with Cocoa with the same Morphe brushes, which was M411 first. Same thing with the Huda palette. I feel like these are definitely buildable and blendable. I don't feel like I blend these as easily as I can the Aphrodite palette, to be honest with you all. Going back with my Morphe R40 brush just to kind of blend and buff this out, soften it up so it's not as harsh. I never get my eyes even. I don't know why, but the face isn't totally symmetrical, so I guess maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Okay, there we go. Let me blend this one out too. Okay, so again, there are those shades together. Again, you can't, if you can see a difference, then more power to you. I don't know. I don't see much of a difference at all. So moving back over to the Aphrodite palette, I am going to add the shade Adore right here. I think that's really pretty, and I think we may add a little bit of Crush in there as well. Going to be using my Morphe R39 brush. Ooh, whoa. Can you guys see how much was picked up on that brush? I'm going to just do the lid and pat it on there. It's pretty soft, so I'm thinking I may add some, I mean, you can see it. I wonder if I should use a different brush. I'm going to switch my brushes before. Let's try this, what is it called? I'm going to try this Bodyography Pro Brush. Try it that way first. Oh yeah, that's better. I'm just going to pack it on there. I think if I add some MAC Fix Plus, I think it would really get it popping. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, that is a lot. Look at that. Whew. Oh my. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a lot. Okay, now we're going to go in with the color Crush. Same brush. I think this is another color I'm going to have to, there, add a little MAC. And there it is. Okay. And we'll go back with the Morphe R39 brush and just kind of blend those two together. This is my Crown BMX 430 brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit of Seduction back in the crease, real lightly, and a little bit of Admire back up through here as well. Okay, moving over to the Huda palette side. And again, we will go in with the shade Trust Fund, and right next to it, Angelic. And then of course, if need be, using Cocoa in the crease. So I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing that I did, just to be fair, that I did with the Aphrodite side. Going to use the Body Graphy Pro brush again. I'm going to get it wet with my MAC Fix Plus spray. And I'm going to go in with Trust Fund. Okay, I will tell you that I am really pushing here, and I'm like getting hardly anything on the brush, so this is definitely pain. Yeah, hardly anything. So I'm going to have to use my finger, and I am not one that likes to use my finger with my shadows. I'm not even going to lie. Like sometimes I'll let my nails get really long, and it just is not an option. But just for the sake of the video and trying to get them as similar as possible. Okay, there we go. I will tell you, I am not a fan of using my fingers at all. So let's go in with Angelic. I'm going to go ahead again, wet my brush, and pack it on. Now I will say wetting my brush shows the Angelic up more so than it did on the Aphrodite side, using, I believe the shade was Crush. Yeah, it does seem to show up a little bit more on the Huda side. So I'm going to go back over to the Aphrodite side and add a little bit more Crush in there. Okay, so here's what I'm finding out about Crush. I dried my brush and went back in, and it actually shows up better without wetting the brush. So, and I actually pretty much kind of get the same color, but I will say it does look a little bit chunky over there. Okay, so I just needed to blend it out with my finger, which I'm not a fan of, but I think I kind of messed that up by getting it wet. Okay, so here's the colors. Actually, let me add a little bit of Cocoa on the Huda side. Just a little bit. And then, of course, a little bit of the Sandalwood right up above it, and just kind of blend that out. Okay, now I'm also going to take on the Rose Gold, the Huda side, I'm going to take a little bit of this henna and place it underneath my eye, and maybe mix it with some Bossy. So I think I'm going to take those two shades and just place them underneath my eye. And then letting it come out just a little. Blend towards the top. Now jumping back over to the Aphrodite side, I'm going to go in with Romance and Jealousy for underneath my eye. Okay, so I'm going to hop off here, add my liner as well as my mascara, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got my liner and my mascara on, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on these two palettes. As I told you all before, the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Texture Palette is going to be discontinued. So, and it retails for $65. If you are a collector, then, you know, then by all means, you do you, and you go ahead and pick them up. However, then you've got the Aphrodite palette by Bad Habit. You can pick up on shophush.com. By the way, I do have a 10% coupon code. I'm not sponsored, affiliated. I don't get a kickback for this. This is just something that they offered me when I emailed them and asked if they'd be willing to sponsor me or to send me any of their merchandise to review. They said no, but that's okay. No big deal. But they did give me a 10% off coupon code that I could share with my friends and my subscribers. So I will list that coupon down below for y'all. But just tell you all, like, look at these here, okay? Like, okay, so some of the shades may be off a little bit, but honestly, for me, this palette right here for $10 is amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's 100%, I would tell you guys, it's 100% dupe for this Huda Rose Gold palette. It's honestly, it's amazing. And for me personally, I feel like this Aphrodite palette by Bad Habits is much easier to work with. I don't necessarily ever have to use my fingers to apply any of the shadows. You did see me use my finger to do the, you know, to kind of smooth out the crush because I'd kind of messed it up by using the Max Fix Plus on it. But I will tell you all, I've used this many times and I've used this one many times. And when it comes down to it, Aphrodite. For me, it's the Aphrodite palette. $10. It's sold out, like I said, right now, but they are wonderful at restocking their palettes. It may take a few weeks, but just go follow them on Instagram. You know, they're really good about updating you and letting you know when their palettes are coming back in. But as far as is the Aphrodite a dupe for the Huda Rose Gold? Absolutely. Yes, it is. So honestly, I would say save your $55, take your $10, buy this bad boy right here. Hands down, the Aphrodite palette is the best dupe I've ever seen for the Huda Rose Gold palette. So as you can see right here, I used all the similar colors and it pretty much came out the same. I honestly struggled more with the Huda Rose Gold palette than I did the Aphrodite palette. So I will leave this one up to you all, but as far as I'm concerned, this is 100% Hot Mess Mom approved. Aphrodite is where it's at, especially if you don't feel like spending the $65 on the Huda Rose Gold palette. But like I said, if you are a collector, and as we know, this will be discontinued, and you want to add this to your collection, do it. But get this bad boy as a backup, y'all. Like, this is amazing. Amazing. I'm like so blown away by the quality of this Bad Habit palette. So anyways, with that being said, that is my video for today. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, help a girl out and hit those like buttons down below, as well as a subscribe button and the bell right next to it so you are notified every time that I upload a video. So until next time, y'all, I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, and blessed day.